Hello, everybody, and welcome to another session of Pathfinder with Epic and Friends.
We went from A to y'all real fast.
Damn straight, son. When we last left off with our intrepid adventurers, they got themselves a motherfucking airship and flew it well across the frozen wastes of Corthus back into Gridania. After a slight chore of docking it, our adventurers found themselves back in an unpleasant situation. After all, one Lady Dacqua does not wish to be in this city at all. And most, if not everybody, has at least a little bit of baggage associated with the place. Regardless, Rowan went to go see her family, and most importantly, Sigbert, after a vision indicated that Sigbert had a way to cure her mother of her hither unknown disease. Upon finding the man, she found a number of patients bloodied and wildly injured, and then her childhood friend Marcel, also grievously injured, resisting...
And dissolving.
Yes. Resisting curative measures. In reaction to aid, and because the individuals taking care of him did not check him closely enough, Marcel ended up shooting Sigbert. After a rush of panic and a number of other attempts to heal the man, our party eventually arrived, did all they could, before Kato, heeding a unknown presence, erased his existence, traced back the past incident, and tugged a thread of fate within the void itself to unwind whatever it was that did the injury to Marcel. In response, while Marcel was injured in a different way, though not nearly as grievously, and the accident with Sigbert did happen, he is whole and safe. Likewise, with the impromptu surgery that the party committed, Sigbert is likewise stabilized. After said events, Rowan has chosen to remain behind to take care of Sigbert, while the rest of our party, sans Works, has decided they've had enough excitement for a bit and need to sit down and relax with psychedelic beer. So,
Is anyone roboting or just me?
Yeah, I am.
Everyone.
Yeah.
oh lordy.
Oh crap.
Discord, why you suck?
Let's try this. Disconnect, reconnect. Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6.
Check.
Switch back to East, so could be a problem with the server on Central. We'll find out. Regardless, Agents of Mayhem, who's going first into the depths of their own minds?
The baby's crying.
I say, do we want to roll and get to experience the trip first?
Well, I'm gonna be with Camilla, so. Why don't you guys go first?
I was gonna say, then it's between Fiona, me, and Carlo. Roll off. 1 to
Sure.
20.
You go for it.
Kevin goes first.
Yedrin is going first. Alright, well, at least we know that you two are rolling close. Let's see here. Where did you go, Yedrin?
Went somewhere deep, dark, and went for some quiet.
Abyssia. Yedrin, you stare down into your cup, which looks to be a sloshing mess of seawater for a few moments. There's a serene quiet to it as the darkness within seems to spread and then settle the deeper and deeper you get as you look into it. It sits before you, giving off a briny smell. And every now and then you see a light flicker inside of it.
I've been meaning to try one of these things, and I want to relax after the day, so bottoms up.
Alright. Yedrin, you pick up the glass and slowly upend it, drinking. And despite the smell of brine, it's sweet, malty. And it rolls down your throat smoothly, coating all of it. And there's this faint lemony taste that comes through, kind of breaching the hops and the strength of the alcohol and all the other suds that are coming with it. And just as you get the drink and swallow, you feel your body relax. And then you look from one side to the other, and you see yourself falling through the floor. You watch as your body disappears and your friends and everyone else kind of linger up above you. And before you know it, you look up and you can just see this immense mass of water growing higher and higher and higher above you. You can see waves far above, but you keep sinking, the light disappearing. And as you continue to sink and sink and sink, soon you can't see anything wrong. There's just darkness around you. And it's like this for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes of just this constant falling before you feel your motion start to stop. And these faint, ghostly creatures start swimming about you, almost alien-like, as reds and blues and greens start to pop up like little Christmas lights around you. Every now and then one flashing its entire exoskeleton lighting up in a deep, dark blue. And it takes you some time to really process what's going around you and getting used to what you're seeing. You're left in this dark plain, breathing water. What do you do?
But now, adjust to probably how fast to move and such. Whether
It
that's...
doesn't take you long to really adjust to figure out how to move. You don't swim. You just kind of aim yourself in a direction and you float.
So surrounded by large fish-type creatures, pretty dang dark.
Do you have dark vision?
Yes, I do.
You can see about. It's almost pitch black. So yeah, you can see about 30 feet in front of you.
I just have two ideas what I want to try and do. I'm just trying to decide which one.
Okay.
And are the creatures near me?
Near enough that... Not near enough that you could touch them, but near enough that it wouldn't take you more than a few seconds to get to one of them.
You know what I'm gonna do, if it's possible?
What's that?
I think I'm gonna hitchhike on one of them and just let it carry me where it goes for a bit to relax. Take in the scenery as it is.
Okay. You drift over to one as it's swimming around, reach out to touch it, and as you do so, your hand just goes through it.
Ah. Huh. That's interesting. Not physical. Mostly not physical.
Okay.
So, currents don't affect me. I can't hitch a ride and just enjoy my time. I'm mostly not physical. Yes. Might as well explore. Let's see how deep this place goes.
Okay, you want to go deep? Just
Yeah.
want to dive?
Yeah,
Okay.
just dive and see what it's like.
You start diving. Yedrin, you spend the next 45 minutes, next hour, just diving straight down, going as deep as you can go. And after an hour, you still can't see the bottom. However, you do note something strange. Your vision starts to clear up and you can start seeing for miles instead of just the 30 feet. Primarily because you look around and these green lights are illuminating everything down here. And it almost looks like a mountain range of them. However, there's still a deeper darkness far, far beneath them. But you can see these lights stretching as far as your eye can see in almost every direction in this strange, coiling manner. And as you look at them, you can see that they're moving slowly, gracefully, just kind of drifting along. It's also around this point that you realize that for the vast majority of the time you've been down here, you've been able to sight other things of bioluminescence, other living creatures. There's nothing else down here anymore.
Alright. Respawn.
Well, if it's because these things are predatory, or because these things, or because at this deep only these things can survive.
Roll a perception, actually. It's clear that as you're looking and examining, all of these lights are connected to the same body. And they're all, when one moves, they all move.
Oofa, that's a big thing.
And to give you another kind of idea, Yedrin, you turn around. As far as the eye can see those lights. You turn to your left. As far as your eye can see those lights. You turn directly in front of you, and as far as the eye can see those lights. And then you turn to your right, and as far as you can see is those lights.
That is immense. But supposedly you can go deeper.
Yeah, you can keep diving.
May or may not be the smartest thing ever, but you know what? Doesn't seem like much matters, so let's keep going deeper.
You keep diving. And as you go down and keep diving, you see the thing that you were examining earlier kind of moving a little listlessly. And you keep going and going, and the light seems to follow you, and you keep diving, and more of this thing's body starts emerging for you to look at. Long and serpent-like, it rolls down into the darkness, and you're realizing it's branching off like a hydra in multiple points. And as you go deeper, the lights change in coloration. You can see green, but the more you dive, they turn blue, and you keep going and going and going. And after miles, it's still there, and it's changed red, and you keep diving. And eventually, you feel like this thing has engulfed your entire perception and your ability to perceive everything. And the lights start to turn orange. By this point, you've spent the better part of 3 hours diving. And for 2 hours of straight diving, you have been unable to grasp the fullness of this creature.
That is large, and I'm trying, and it's like, I could keep trying to dive, but I'm probably just gonna find more and more of it. It'd be interesting to find out if it's, like, basically composes the entire bottom of this world.
Are you gonna keep diving?
Sure, let's see if you can't figure out that this thing is like basically the center of everything for this plane of existence.
Alright. Yedrin, you dive. And after another hour, the lights turn white. And it is here that you start seeing the lights getting closer and closer. The darkness more or less illuminated. Still no bottom in sight. But the thing that you've been following, you now see one of its heads. And you turn, and the head alone engulfs your entire range of vision. Almost 40 eyes dot its skull, all of them small, hive-like, examining every direction at once. Its teeth alone make you think of a spire in Ishgard, or one of the tallest buildings in Kugane. And it examines the world around it slowly, painstakingly. You swim backwards a few feet, and its eyes train on you. You go to turn backwards as if to vanish into the darkness, and from above you can see another head slowly coming down, and you kind of switch to turn to a diagonal and another one, and it's around this point you realize that there's 6 heads all just kind of gathered around you and pushing themselves out at different angles so that you can turn and examining them without examining one or the other. And they just stare at you.
You know what? It seems I'm gonna go, and it's interested in me. Yeah, I'm interested. Someone interested in it. I'm just finally gonna sit here and stare back and examine it, and just basically look at it and contemplate existence next to something this huge.
It examines you quietly. There's not really any sound down here aside from like water sloshing about. It's peaceful. It's very quiet. And the heads just, they kind of take turns getting a little closer. As one approaches Yedrin, it actually seems to take the time to smell you, or attempt to smell you. And the slit of the nostril alone is probably large enough to fit pandemonium inside of it, if not much, much larger. And it just sort of pulls away. And the eyes train on you. They examine further. And then finally one opens its mouth, and a number of magical seals start to appear in front of it, each of them glistening this bright white to dark purple, changing into the, slowly disappearing and vanishing into the same color as the ocean around it. I need you to roll a will save.
Oh boy.
Hadn't seen that coming.
There's a as a sensation hits you in your head, and then you stop and you start to choke and drown. The pressure on you is so immense that you can feel your body starting to rip to shreds. And there's another and you're breathing the water. And another. and the pressure's not hurting you anymore. But you're no longer floating. You're swimming.
I'm not sure how to feel about this one.
You are brave to come here. Indeed. How deep you have driven. Do you lack the fear of death? Simply because your body was not here. How do you feel now that it has come with your soul?
Well, to admit I might have made a mistake, but at this point, there's nothing I can do, so resigned to whatever it is you wish to do, it seems.
I was merely curious. We have had a number of flies buzz about us as of late. Why do you come here and explore the deep?
For me, it was because I do not know the deep, so I wish to see the deep. For others, it might be similar, it might be different.
Roll a perception at this point. Oof. It's kind of hard to miss, though you are a bit distracted by the fact that this thing is talking to you, and it has kind of taken up your entire plane of vision. You start looking around its body closer to the neck, and Yedrin, it's around this point that you note that 3 or 4 of the heads that you can see going down the back of their necks are large portions of exposed bone and slawed off flesh. The eyes dark and like this great pale white. It doesn't take you long to realize that these heads are dead, but they're still moving and they're still talking. And one of them just kind of moves up closer and goes, "The deep is not for your kind. You will not survive here. Go no further. Turn back. Or embrace death."
Very well, I shall heed your warning then, and turn back before overstepping myself further.
It's wise to do so. Any deeper, and you might have awakened something actually big. It kind of blows at you like it's blowing a candle. And the rush of force sends you flying upwards. You blink, and you're awake back inside of the CD bar.
That was an experience, and I think I'm gonna have to deliver a warning to the owner about that one.
Who's next?
Kata?
I suppose.
Kato, you drink a Nirvana, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Alright. Kato, you look down and you've got this white, almost milk-like drink in front of you with little clouds floating in it. It shines slightly.
Chug, 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 chug.
You drink it, and as you do so, you don't really taste much alcohol on it. It's ambrosia in flavor. Slightly fruity, but warm and refreshing. It lifts your spirits to drink it. And after a minute or so of downing the beverage, you feel yourself sort of lift up and spin. You close your eyes to stop it, and then you open them. And you look around, and you're in this bright plane of existence, far above clouds. You look around you, and there's these floating islands covered in pink grass with trees growing out of them, bending almost like Serengeti trees, with bright white bark and exterior coating. The leaves growing in this glorious golden color. You look around you and you can see various angelic entities kind of fluttering about. Here and there they examine you. But the thing that draws your attention immediately is when you look up, there is this ball of brilliant light surrounded by a variety of pink petals, almost like floating lotus branches or roses, surrounding it with various cities sprouting out of them. It gives off this chain of rainbows that cover it and rotate around it in this massive circle. A couple of eyes pop out here and there from it, look around and close. And you can also see that pages and pages, countless pages of information and history, like pamphlets, flutter about it. But it's so massive that you can see through the gaps and still very clearly make out what this thing is.
And?
Did you say and?
Uh-huh.
You're free to move around this plane of existence as you desire for the time being. You can float around, go where you want.
He's very curious about what's in the ball, but feels like it might be a bad idea to go messing with the Radiant's home. So, gonna look and see what else is farther away from the ball of light.
Roll perception. Kato, you start looking around for other things to do, and you suddenly hear a come off in the distance.
Just looks around for the sound.
You see Estella on one of the islands waving to you. you can see that she's sat down to a picnic, a very nice looking picnic with two other Radiant, one of them being the Lancer that you fought back in
Amdapor.
Amdapor. Thank you. In Amdapor. And another individual with long white hair, blue eyes, and a faintly androgynous face, but a very feminine body. Just no real signs of breasts.
Gonna float over to them and wave.
Stella waves to you and says, Master Hailstrom, was it?
Yes.
What are you doing here? More importantly, how?
Magic alcohol?
All three
Kind
of
of.
them just like look at you and they go, interesting.
There's this bar in Gridania serves drinks that basically teleport your soul to other planes of existence. Don't ask me how it works. I have no fucking clue.
There's the woman goes, well, not the woman, the androgynous individual goes, interesting. A ingested version of astral projection.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, Estella was just telling us about her adventures and your plan. Perhaps you would care to join us? We have enough here that you could dine with us and share stories.
If I can dine at all. Not
Like to
sure.
make the attempt.
He sits down with them and tries to pick something up, like a piece of fruit or something.
It doesn't work. You just kind of pass through it. However, you find that you can sit down on the ground without any issue.
Yeah, I figured that was the case.
A pity. A pity. I would attempt to make you more solid, but
Something tells me that's not a good idea.
no, I would assume that the energy of this plane would rip you asunder before I had a chance to right that little issue.
Yeah.
So, Kata, what else are you going to try to do?
He's just gonna have a nice little picnic with them, share stories and whatnot.
Alright, you spend 5 hours having rather pleasant conversation. You actually find that Cathar, the Lancer, and Estella are very good conversationalists, and they enjoy hearing your perspective on things. Otherwise, you just share stories for the 5 hours. They give you a little tour of the area. They explain what the little rose cities are, which they describe as the homes of the most powerful Radiant, so they can be closest to the Radiant itself and receive his orders. They also state that they are a source of huge amounts of positive energy, and it would probably, even through your astral projections, start hurting you if you got too close to it.
Yeah, probably a good idea I didn't go up there.
They take you diving below the clouds, and they let you take a look at the first shard as it is now. Kind of how it's almost a mirror of your own plane, though with changes here and there.
Is this... What... I take it we wouldn't know about the shard having gotten consumed in the light. So, I'm just gonna ask, is this the future?
No.
What am I looking at?
Merely what exists below the radiant.
Now, hold on a second. What would I roll to know about the fracturing?
Say a knowledge history.
I imagine knowledge planes work too. Oh,
Natural
nice.
20! You know all about it, Kato. You know all about the fracturing. You know all about the planes shattering like mirrors. Even more so, you know what happened with the Void and what happened with the Radiant, otherwise known as the First Shard at this point.
Kyle's probably like, yeah, I was there for that.
You're
this
well aware of that.
Is this the first shard?
It used to be called that.
Well, damn. That's something.
They just kind of laugh.
Or I can't help but feel like maybe each shard is... Each of the drinks at the bar takes us to a different shard now. Not sure how accurate that is, but...
Kyle's not having an existential crisis.
it's something to look into when I get back, that's for sure.
I suppose. I wouldn't assume necessarily, but we can't tell unless, you know, we have one to sample for ourselves.
I could ask Fionn if she can get you one.
You see Estella just kind of think for a moment. She goes, I wonder if that would work while I was summoned.
Well, you do have a corporeal body while you're summoned.
I know, but I'm technically being pulled away from my own plane to another plane. Could I astral project while I was on another plane?
Only one way to find out, isn't there?
Just like, I suppose so. Anyway, Kona, is there anything else you want to ask us?
No, I think I'm good for now.
Alright.
Just kind of waves to the Lancer guy.
He
I'm-
holds out his hand to you.
He what?
He holds out his hand to you.
Shakes his hand, just
It's Cathar.
no hard feelings about.
I was doing my job, you were doing yours.
Cool. I should probably
That
get
one,
going.
The androgynous one just kind of gives you a little bow and she says, safe travels to you, Master Hamstrom.
And you as well, don't believe I caught your name.
Lucifer.
Gotcha.
Yeah, what?
So I should probably get going before something unforeseen and possibly bad happens.
I wouldn't worry about that. Safe journey.
And you. And then just kind of tries to wake up.
It's been several hours and your time was kind of already up as is, so you just sort of fade. You open your eyes back. You feel good. Strange good.
Yay.
Just kind of like, you feel almost like 30 pounds lighter than normal. Like if you jump now, you would float a little. And everything looks a little brighter. And you're warm and fuzzy all over.
Just gonna kind of sit back in the seat and just relax, maybe go order some food.
Okay. So that leaves Camilla and Dak or Fionn?
And Fiona is AFK, it seems.
Yeah.
Whoops. Did Works just like... What did Works do? Can't remember.
Works is like walking around the city doing nothing.
Right.
We're kind of sulking because I kicked him out.
Ah, yes, that's right. I remember that now.
I am now child and book free.
No, Works was just like, we need to go find some shit out.
I mean, you could do something with Works.
So
or something
basically
with
he's-
Rowan while we wait.
Sure. Rowan, you are still with Sigbert and Marcel at this point. The guard is gone, but the other people, the Corrosians, are still standing there. They're watching over them. They're kind of tending to wounds. They eventually did have to get you away from Marcel a little bit. They didn't force you to leave, but they did pull you directly away from him so that they could get at the injury on his foot and examine the rest of him, which they could not do while you were right there.
So are they still examining him right now?
They're more or less like monitoring him. They're keeping water with him. They're changing out his bandages here and there. And they have taken all weapons away from him.
So I'm gonna just be pacing around and kind of chewing on my thumb, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Watching him, looking at Sigbert, and wondering how I'm gonna ask everybody to go and go to Tamtara with me.
So you're basically just contemplating everything at this point?
Yeah, I'm just hovering around and just like peeking over. I'm actually waiting for somebody to maybe say something or give me something to do.
They aren't sure what to do with you. So after a couple of minutes, like one of them hands you like a cup of tea and is like, "Are you close to these two?"
I am the one who brought Sigbert back to Gridania, and I have known this one since we were children, and he first love. That's how close I am.
Indeed.
These are
You can keep going.
I just said these are my family, and that was it.
He goes, I see. Well, Sigbert should make a full recovery. He's old, so he's going to be feeling it for a little while. You said you've known Marcel for as long as you can remember?
Yes, since childhood.
Then you remember when he lost his parents.
Yes, I was there. The scarring on his body, that unfortunately is me, happened when we were just barely 14.
The curmudgeon just kind of nods a little bit and says, well, they'll both be all right with some rest.
Is there anything? Has anybody alerted Sigbert's daughter?
I would assume one of the other guards is heading to do that. If I don't know if she's in Gridania.
She was supposed to be moving here. I thought she moved here.
Well, it does take time to move, and likewise, in some cases, to finish out whatever projects that one has with work.
I'm understood. I've been in places where time has played tricks on me, so I can never tell.
We understand that. It's more that I personally don't know. I'm not connected with Sigbert's personal life beyond his work, which we are all excessively grateful for at this current juncture. Look, we don't want to shoo you out. These people are obviously very special to you. But maybe not be right where we're working. We're going to transfer Sigbert up into his bed chambers within the hour, and with Marcel, it's just a foot injury. He should be up and about in 30 minutes. In fact, we're not quite sure why he's still unconscious.
Rowan looks at him and says, "Just a foot injury, huh?" I've been placed. There was a little more to that, but that's okay. I tell you what, I will get out of your hair completely. I will go for a walk for about 30 minutes, and then I will come back.
Very well. Take care. At that point, he just leaves you alone. Fionn, have you returned?
Yep, I'm back.
Okay. So, guess it's Dak and Fionn's, or Dak and Camilla's turn, and then we will go to Fionn, and then we will have everybody reconvene.
Oh, I don't get my own side story?
You walk around for several hours and realize that you should have gone drinking.
Never too late.
Quick question. Did we know about Tamtara, or is that just Kato?
Probably just me and Kato.
Just Kato at this point.
I think
Okay.
they said something about Tamtara.
No, I don't think we had a chance to.
Yeah, no, Rowan is too broken up, and the only person who said anything was Sigbert to Rowan. You want that?
Okay, then. Okay, then I couldn't go and find information on Tamtara because I don't even know Tamtara is a thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Dak and Camilla, you both look down at your drinks. Bright, verdant green, the smell of pine, grass, and dew in front of you. Tiny sparkles of gold flitter about inside of it, blinking in and out like fireflies before you.
It's a really nice experience. I hope you like it. What do you want me to call you now?
Camilla just stares at the drink quietly. I don't know.
Alright. That's fine. Don't worry, I'll be with you on this nice little experience, so bottoms up. Glug.
Cam follows mutely.
The two of you take your drink, and there's a moment of silence. And as you drink it, there's this herbal essence that comes through. It's bitter. And as it rolls, you can kind of feel a bit burn of the alcohol, then sort of this woodsy taste. It makes you kind of lick at your teeth, trying to find a different flavor. And after 2 or 3 times of doing this, and close your eyes from an increased bitterness, the flavor disappears. When you open your eyes, you look around and you can see this sea of grass in front of you, changing from this vibrant green to purple to a faint blue and then to pink and then back again. You look around you and you can see trees growing up higher than your eyes can follow with an infinite canopy above. Little speckles of golden fairies kind of flittering in and out. Sylphs dancing between the trees here and there. Centaurs and redcaps and various other fey creatures maneuvering. All of them kind of turn their heads and they examine you closely. A fawn peers from around a tree and then blinks, examining you, takes a few steps out, and then, as if something made a sudden movement, darts back and disappears into the forest.
Dak takes a deep breath in, and just kind of takes in the scent of the forest, and kind of spins around in the grass a little bit, just enjoying the feelings of everything.
Curiosity strikes you back, your echo pinging off everything.
Yeah.
Joy, curiosity, a desire to play, this childish exuberance for life, this feeling that nothing matters. It's all just time to enjoy yourself, to play. And then you get Camilla's feelings. The confusion, the deep-seated despair and misunderstanding, the muted sense of joy that she has for the fact that her mentor is alive, and then these stabbing uncertainties about life now. You don't understand why it's there, but you can feel it.
During a part of her spin, she kind of stops and almost stumbles into the grass and turns and looks at Camilla and just gets a really curious look on her face. And since she knows she's in like a, different plane sort of thing, she just kind of starts floating up a little bit, like if she had her flying thing on. Mm-hmm. She just kind of gets up to Camilla and kind of peers at her and is like, "Do you want to talk about it? There's no one here but you and me and all the woodland creatures."
Camilla, who has been staring off at the canopy this entire time, just slowly nods. All right.
We can sit under one of the trees over there.
She nods again and follows Dak over to it.
Takes Camilla by the hand and settles down next to one of the trees. "So your mentor's alive?"
Mm-hmm. She took me in when I was a young child.
Oh.
Many people who were displaced by various events, Meowdmore and such.
Hmm. Why did you think she was dead? I'm afraid I don't know much of anything about you.
Camilla flinches and then averts her eyes. She shielded my body when the orphanage collapsed from the calamity.
Covers her mouth. Oh no.
I buried her myself because everyone else was gone. Fled or also lost.
She gently pats Cam's arm. Sorry that you had to do that alone. Not that any amounts of sorry can fix it, but...
It's okay. I just don't understand is all.
I've seen a lot of things happen, and someone being alive when you think they're dead isn't such a strange thing. There could be a number of things that happen. Not that I could pinpoint any.
Even so, Camilla just leans back against the tree and lifts her head to stare up at the canopy again. When I buried her, I looked for something to put with her, a keepsake. In the cell of the orphanage. That's when I found it in.
Oh.
And that's when it saw my memories of what happened, and it told me to either put it to rest with its wielder or be its wielder.
And you thought it would be more useful to wield it.
She nods slowly. Camilla was secretly working with the Halamegan resistance for the longest time in the fight against the Empire. And I wanted to help too. I didn't want to let Camilla's legacy just end. So I became Camilla in a way.
Ah, I see. Well, if you want to help the Halamegan resistance, or at least the Halamegan people, you could probably talk to one of my brothers.
She blinks and looks directly at Dak. I was helping in the tunnels for a while, but
He works out at Little Alamigo and is trying to help matters. He looked really stressed the last time I saw him.
maybe then. She just looks at her hands and shakes her head. But even then, I don't really know who I am anymore. If I'm not really Camilla, then what have I been doing the last 5 years?
You may not be that Camilla, but you can still be Camilla.
But I took the name to be that Camilla.
Camilla, roll a perception with a -5 for your current conversation in mind state. Don't notice shit.
We got that one.
She is very definitely still navel-gazing at this point.
I'm going to take advantage of that perception lag, and she's just kind of floating there with her hands under her chin, kind of like she's laying in the air.
With your back turned, Dak,
Mm-hmm.
you don't notice this until it's too late, but a woman appears behind you, slowly letting her fingers trail through your hair for a few seconds. You turn around and it's a heart-shaped woman, both ageless and young at the same time. Red hair twisted back into a braid that flutters all the way down to her ankles. A crown of sunflowers all around the top of her head. Her eyes, this brilliant green, deeper than the forest around you. Dressed in this flowing, simple white gown, very reminiscent of a farmer's gown that rolls all the way down to her ankles and exposes bare feet. She's a little willowy, but she smiles down at you and looks down at Camilla, offering a hand to her. Now, I do believe that I see someone with quite the frown. Must you be so sad within my domain? You scare even the fawns away.
Camilla doesn't move at first, but then slowly turns her eyes to the hand and then up to its owner.
And what is your name?
Camilla opens her mouth to speak, but then freezes, just hangs her head again. I don't know.
That's such a pity. A name is an important thing. I don't know what to call you, so I will just call you Visitor. Come with me. At that point, she grabs you with a surprising amount of strength and starts floating upward and drifting backward.
Oh! Jack grabs onto Camilla.
And you're just, at this point, you're just floating along, almost bouncing as you go.
Jack can't help but start to giggle.
Where are we going?
I'm not sure. To court, maybe? Or perhaps to a spring to dunk the visitor's head. Something tells me clarity is needed.
I don't like the idea of being head dunked. Can we do something else?
Well, that depends. Does this one like to dance, or perhaps does she sing? Maybe, just maybe, we can find something to do. To eat, to snooze, to bask in the sun. That's all up to you to choose.
Well, I did come here to relax.
So you came to relax, did you?
Oh.
Well,
She has not been having the best of times, so I thought maybe a frolic in the woods would do her well.
we think she might enjoy a nap. We have many hammocks up in the clouds, resting upon beds of flowers woven. They are. So, dear Mikote, would you prefer maybe to head up towards the light, rest your head and gain a bit of respite?
Still uncertain as ever, she looks away.
Oh, a pity, you're hurting my feelings, dear. I'm trying to be the best host I can be.
I'm sorry.
At that point, she pokes Camilla's nose. Perhaps a therapist is more in order, but I fear that none of us are of that particular order. Mayhap you return to the world you're from. Seek out a professional, one who's not dumb.
Kim looks over at Dak.
She's just giggling.
Maybe. She cracks a small smile as well.
Oh, might I ask your name?
I have many, but for now, you see, call me Layla, for it's all I please.
Thank you for your time, Layla.
For now, though, since you both still have more time, come dance for me. We'll find something new to do.
I'm not much of a dancer. I have not the best coordination.
Doesn't matter. We all have a rhythm in our hearts. It's just a matter of finding it, letting it play the part.
I'm more of a singer, but I would be willing to give it a try.
At that point, she just leads you both off to enjoy the rest of your time.
Whee! Frolicking! Frolic!
You will frolic! You will all frolic!
And you will smile and smell of flowers!
Kim does, with enough pushing, eventually break out of her shell a bit and start to dance along, but she still seems rather meek.
Yeah. You guys spend your time having fun, doing your thing. Eventually your time comes to an end, and you're left back at the inn. You still smell the plane that you were just on, but otherwise you're completely fine. A little hungry.
Steal some of Date's food. No. Now it's Fiona.
Yep, just Fiona now.
Oh boy.
Go visit your daddy-in-law.
No, only Yedrin calls him daddy.
Oh
Okay,
my god!
father-in-law.
Okay. Fiona, you look down at your glass of fissures and darkness, the eye now gone, the scent of something almost burnt coming clear to you.
Fiona does not seem particularly perturbed by this. Rather, in fact, she is brimming with ideas of what to do once she's over, and she tips the glass back.
You drink, and you drink, and you drink. It flows down your throat, thick as a milkshake. Thicker than a concrete, if you will. I don't know if you have Dairy Queen over there in Canada, Fiona.
We do.
Yeah, it's thicker than one of those. The taste is almost meaty to your tongue. This sensation of blood and something faintly undercooked, but with a back end of a charred crust kind of passes over your tongue. You have to smack your lips a few times, trying to get it to go away. And then gradually, the world around you fades to black. You focus for a few moments, and you find yourself standing on top of a tower. All around you are these vibrant, almost neon purple circles arranged like stained glass mirrors with bright yellow centers, each of them flashing around you. All around you, you can see this infinite storm, purple lightning streaking through the sky, and this sense of crackling energy in some places, and then nothing. just this vast emptiness and loneliness.
Theon leans over the edge of the tower wall, just taking the sights in.
It's storm. As far as you can see beneath you. The crackling purple exploding infinitely. And as you look and you peer, you can see the clouds part for a moment. And you see a labyrinth stretching out as far as your eyes can tell, zigzagging and taking unexpected twists and turns, twisting like an Escher painting as it goes, and you can see things trying to make their way through it, confusion reigning in every which direction. You see individuals hit a dead end only to be teleported to a different location entirely. All of it as this maze twists by itself and constantly moves in this three-dimensional jigsaw puzzle that is made of pieces that just don't mesh together. And you can see these things moving around, some scurrying in a panic, trying to figure out what's going on, others moving through it calmly, showing no signs of concern and navigating it with ease.
I can see why Skull and the others are a bit unhappy being here. Well, no matter. Fionn draws her grimoire, flips through the pages, and undergoes something resembling the summoning ritual, adjusting it as necessary to account for the fact that she's the extraplanar one here.
Okay. Roll a spellcraft. Alright. It takes you a little while to figure out how to manipulate Aether when you yourself are made of Aether on this plane and to cast a spell through a different body. But after 10 or so minutes, you manage to figure it out enough to start performing the ritual. And you bring forth your summon just in time for this horde of imps and Ahriman to start charging and flying at you, salivating wildly, their eyes wide, bloodshot, as they just beeline it for you.
Oh, hells. Skull? Let's find somewhere else to be. And she drops some obscuring mist on her position.
And you start hearing this loud roar and rumble from beneath you, the world shaking violently as this growl emanates from everywhere. And as if on cue, the clouds rip. The maze beneath it breaks and crumbles, ripping in half, leaving this gaping maw of darkness behind it. And like jaws, you see this gigantic wolf head, larger than your mind can process, just come up, snap around this horde that approached you, close, and then dive back, and everything just kind of closes together as if nothing had happened.
I suppose that works too. She just fans the mist away.
sitting there in his wolf form. He looks very small and demure at this point. He's like, are you sure about this?
I wanted to spend some time with you in surroundings that you've had to deal with for a while to better understand. And as well, there's something I'd like to talk to you about.
Okay, we can talk. I would have preferred the tavern or Aperneus or anywhere if you wanted to go on a date. Just you have very strange tastes, but I love that about you.
Leon smiles and extends a hand to help link Skull's Aether to her own.
So, I guess you want a tour.
If you'd like.
He goes, and that way, he points with his paw, and he goes, and that way there's nothing, that way there's nothing, that way there's nothing, and that way an infinite maze going to all of the various hierarchies of the void. If you're strong enough, you can just warp it so that you can move through it without having to go through everything else. If you're like me, you kind of have to walk through it.
Leon giggles at the impromptu tour.
I could try to take you through the maze, but I don't know if I'm strong enough to unlock most of the doors.
Well, let's see here. She leans over the edge and plots it out. Do you know of any particular places that we could visit through the gates?
Well, there's Hades Smithy if you want to try that. There's my father's hunting grounds. Otherwise, we don't want to go anywhere near Nostradamus, and we definitely don't want to head towards the Endless Storm. There's the Upside Down Archives, but I don't know if I can even get there anymore. And worse, you kind of need to be able to fly.
Dak was always the one capable of flight, not me. I suppose I should correct that eventually. Nonetheless...
You know, because you're an astral body, you float.
Fiona just lightly kicks up off the ground, taking Skull with her, hopefully lending that benefit due to the linked Aether.
He says, mind you, at this point, I don't think you can actually interact with anything here, so all that knowledge would be kind of wasted. I don't think you want to read books with bite marks.
She giggles again. You have my Aether to spare, why not transform?
He goes, I don't know. It feels wrong when you're so close. Like I'm teasing.
Come now, dear. It's quite alright. Plus, with the way our Aether's linked, at the very least we can still touch each other.
He just kind of... He blushes in a way that only an animal could, and he kind of like looks down. He goes, I'm just... I'm a little embarrassed. looks back and he goes, I don't want to feel like I'm rubbing it in everyone else's noses.
Alright, perhaps we could find somewhere more private.
This is a plane where everyone's suffering. Everyone wants to get back to what they once had. Back to their old bodies, back to their old power, back to whatever they could do. And I love you and I want to be in a form that pleases you. But I don't know if I could do that in front of all these people. In front of all these creatures just so desperate for the same thing.
Fiona nods slowly, empathically. I understand entirely. Well, you needn't worry. She kneels down beside him, her voice down to a whisper. I believe I found everything I need to bring you back to my world with me.
He just sort of nods. I can't wait.
Neither can I, dear.
And he said, and he just sort of nods and he goes, was that all you wanted to talk to me about?
Well, the ritual also had a part involving dance, and I wanted to perform a little rehearsal with you.
He just looks at you and he goes, he starts laughing a little. You didn't need to come all the way to the board to ask me to do that. We could have just borrowed my chat.
Well, no, I suppose not, but truth be told, we went to the CD bar and everyone insisted I have an experience, so what's an experience without you?
Just makes a little puppy noise. Nazuzu. I know a place. It'll take us some time to get there, but we should be okay.
Well, I seem to have gotten a handle on my magic, so I could give us a bit of a shortcut.
I hope so. He takes you and starts going to the maze, and it takes about half of the time that you have the experience for. And
well, Fiona, since she made a note of the maze's structure, she offers to cast Dimension Door to cut through a majority of it.
Do Dimension Door, and you go through it and Skull follows, and you're in a completely different portion of the maze that you thought you were gonna land in. But he says, this is alright. It's still a much shorter distance than what we were gonna do. So you did manage to cut the time in half. You still spend the better part of an hour. At which point, he finally leads you into this broken down cathedral of sorts. You can see bite marks taken out of certain locations, claws scratching down the stonework, the black iron kind of marred with burns and frost. And he just walks you in and he says, okay, he he focuses for a moment. He comes back into his old body.
Fion smiles and takes Skull's hand. Care for a dance?
You lead. He just laughs.
And she does.
You two spend the next 3.5 hours rehearsing, waltzing with one another, talking, just being close. And when the time ends, he just sort of looks at you and leans in close and holds you, and he says, "When I'm whole, when I'm back to you, I don't know that I'm ever going to be able to let go."
Fion closes her eyes and nods slowly. Soon, dear. It'll be so soon.
That
I
point-
won't ever let you go.
At that point, the two of you just sort of fade out, and you return to the bar. At that point, you're all back awake. You more or less all kind of open your eyes at the same time. You see Date sitting over at the bar by himself. He's just polishing off the last of his beef Wellington. And he looks over at you all and he just kind of waves.
Dak waves back.
Fion lets out a contented sigh before waving back.
He goes, "Did you all have a good time?"
Yeah. Oh,
was-
Fiona. Estella says hi.
Oh, you saw Stella?
And the Lancer guy from Amdapor. And the first shard.
First shard.
I'll tell you about it later.
Oh dear.
Okay.
It's complicated.
Fion nods slowly.
Me and Cam had a little talk, and I think we met a fae of some sort, or at least someone who lives in the plane and calls herself Layla. I don't know.
Fiona, your drink took you to the void, right?
Yes.
And mine took me to the realm of the radiant. Seems
Indeed.
like these been taking us to the different shards somehow. It's definitely something we should look into, it seems.
I would suggest not looking into mine.
Bad experience.
Oh, I had a wonderful time, except for the... I don't even know how to describe it. Rolled serpent would be the best way, I guess. You may not.
Alright then.
You may not, if you piss him off, decide to drag you into where I was, and said there's something below him that would probably just straight up kill me.
Noted.
Probably have to give the owner a warning about that trick.
I'm sticking with the forest.
Wasn't yours deep water? I'm not touching that. I'm terrified of the ocean. No, thank you.
Well, considering the fact that Yadrin was out in the ocean, well, or something resembling it, it seems perfectly normal with my planar cosmology knowledge that there are in fact the 10 and 3 shards, as well as a number of planes corresponding to elements in the aether.
Fair enough. We'll have to talk to the brewer at some point.
At that point, Dave just kind of looks down. He goes, "Well, you guys have been in there for, well, you were in your little experiences for about an hour and a half or so." He said the time was weird while we had our little conversation. That you basically perceive time differently on another plane.
Well, I had fun frolicking in a forest, so time well spent.
Time fuckery is... Don't even get me started on time.
Well, he said he got a lot of.
Headache.
He used to say he got a lot of complaints with the wind one that he had because people said that they only got like 10 minutes out of it.
Strange.
Oh. Besides the interesting meeting I had, it was interesting to see the various creatures.
I can only imagine what
Wow.
lives down in the deep.
A lot of bioluminescence.
You are a lot braver than I am.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone down there in years.
And I have a water breathing spell.
Meanwhile, I was pretty much a shining eat me sign for all of the low-ranking void sent in the area. I suppose I have Fenrir to thank for dealing with that.
Doesn't sound pleasant. One of Cheryl's bad experiences, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure Walt something temporarily pulled my body into that area because I'm pretty sure I felt myself being crushed.
Please don't go back there.
Didn't plan on it.
Indeed.
I was gonna tell the owner he might need to put a warning or discontinue that one.
Yeah.
Good choice.
At that point, Dave's just like, so should we go check on Rowan and Works now?
That might be a good idea.
Well, while you guys do that, I'll go check in on the status of the airship.
Kato?
Alright.
It's like Dave said, Kato?
Yeah?
It's been like an hour. They're fully servicing the airship.
It'll probably take them a day or two at the least.
Yeah.
Indeed. It's been quite a bit shorter than what most of us experienced.
Fair enough. Okay.
Goodness knows I wouldn't be waltzing for 3 hours if I didn't know I was an ethereal construct, but yeah.
Regardless, you all have already paid, so what are you doing now?
Well, if you're leaving, gonna be before seeing the owner, gonna be leaving the owner a note about careful of the Abyssia. Maybe discontinue it.
Alright, so you left him a note?
Yeah.
Alright, so party. Where are you going?
Shall we go see how Rowan and Dr. Sigbert are doing?
Yeah. Marcel as well, so...
I know exactly what that all was about.
Did something happen, Marcel? I noticed he was there, but...
It's...
The depends. Are you asking for before or after the magic bullshit catapult?
But Fionn pinches the bridge of her nose.
Time bullshit. Move over, magic bullshit. Time bullshit's on the case now.
Duly noted. You'll have to give me the details.
What?
It's later.
Okay. Regardless, you all start making your way back to Sigbert's area. At this point, you can see Rowan has more or less been sequestered to the room outside of where the operating has taken place. Works, have you returned yet or no?
Probably not.
So yeah, it's just Rowan. And otherwise, everything seems to be well in control there. They're kind of busily moving along. When by the time you get in, Sigbert has already been moved upstairs and is in his own bed.
I think Todd's AFK. Hey, so.
Just coming back here is hurting my head some.
Literally or figuratively?
Little bit of both.
Rowan looks up and when they enter and is just looking at them.
You gonna do what?
I'm just looking up as they walk in. I prestidigitated the place is cleaning again.
Alright.
I'm not gonna sit in blood. Are you kidding?
Well met, Rowan. Is all well?
For now, as well as can be expected.
Kato's gonna look Marcel over for any...
They will not let you in the room.
Yeah, they're kind of hating me right now. I want to go back in there and check on him. He's supposed to be awake by
I'd like to check on him after, that.
So
messing with
first
time
question.
is not a good idea.
Go ahead, Ron.
First question I have for you, Kato, is
Yeah.
what I saw first real?
What was that?
What I saw first, is that real?
You mean the poison thing?
Him disintegrating, coming back together in my arms, yes.
Depends on how you look at it.
I beg pardon?
Simple answer, Carlo.
The Toll's like, huh?
In this timeline, no. In that timeline, yes.
What timeline are we in?
The one where he didn't get ambushed by Wackadoos and Tamtera.
See, this is why explaining these things to everyone would be a good idea, just in case we forgot, which we apparently did.
In the original timeline, what I saw in the void was something reached out to him and made him go crazy, which ended up with him getting bit by this flowery-looking spider with some weird-ass venom, and that's...
Wasn't that a bounty?
What?
Maybe,
What else?
been when they brought him here, he was still out of his mind, and they didn't check him for weapons, and he shot Sigbert.
Yes, that part I remember.
But the thing about time is some events just want to happen, so it finagled its way so Sigbert got shot in some other way.
And the gun discharged after they set him down, yes.
What I remember was him going crazy and pulling a gun and shooting Sigbert. That's the first thing I remember.
Yes, that's when we arrived. I had followed his timeline back to when he entered Tantara and
what else?
followed it back.
So you saw him being attacked by... Okay, so when this all started, Sigbert had mentioned that multiple people had been being attacked and it had been sucking their brains, making them crazy. I recall a giant hole on the side of Marcel's face.
That was from the spider.
And the spider's at Tantara.
Now the spider's outside Timterra somewhere in the shroud. It might have been that bounty that we might have been thinking about looking into last time we were here. Can't remember entirely.
Can't remember the exact name, but it was something about a giant spider in the spirit hole.
Didn't see anything else.
What the heck?
Everything okay, Ark?
Yeah. What?
We heard deep breathing in.
No, you heard an air duster.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Better.
My bad. I was holding the mic so you couldn't hear it. No, my bad.
No, we heard it.
Sorry.
Did you see anybody else getting attacked or anybody else?
I only really had access to his timeline, so I really only saw him and the immediate things he interacted with.
And nobody else was with him?
Not that I saw. Something from another plane reached out to him there and affected him.
I'm sorry, from another plane?
What?
Possibly from the void. I've no
Sigbert.
idea.
Sigbert had mentioned that there were void suns. That children were playing. Wait a minute. I think I got that confused with something. Out of character. Was that what was happening again?
I remember what he said. It was basically Sigbert explained that there was a bunch of children basically playing at being cultists, and no one was really worried about it until stuff started happening.
Yeah, there were basically children. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. For some reason, my brain just went dead.
We say children, it's probably more young adults, but...
He didn't even mean children. He was...
Children to him.
Anything is
children to him, they basically were relating them to children playing at being cultists.
People fucking around.
Yeah, not literal children.
Idiots.
There
you go.
Hooligans!
Novices! Let's just say novices who wanted to be something that they're not.
Mm-hmm.
But then they stumbled upon something bad. If I remember right, Tantara was some sort of burial ground, so...
And deep within the crypt of Tantara are plague flowers. And I need those plague flowers. I need to burn that spider. And I need to find those plague flowers.
Would I know anything about the plague flowers?
Roll a knowledge nature.
Oh boy. Fuck you!
No.
Ouch. Natural one, you know nothing. You know nothing, Dax Snow.
Mini, 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 bit, bitty, bitty, bit.
Alright.
Give it to me again! Thank you.
You know, they're poisonous as shit. They're very pretty flowers, but they're called plague flowers because people who pick them, get cut by them, or are around them too long, tend to end up dead.
Are you sure we need to go get those? Those things are insanely poisonous. Like, even breathing in the pollen can get you dead.
And yet, Sigbert said that is the final piece that they need to create a cure for my mother.
Alchemists. Right, alchemists.
Have you been to see her yet?
I have barely left this area. I have not gone to see my mother yet. I was made to go outside. Well, not made to, but I went outside to get some air to let them finish because I was hovering too much. But I have not left the immediate vicinity. So no, not gone to see my family. I need to replace my food. I'm starving.
Well, we should let those two rest, and maybe you should head home, get something to eat, see your parents.
Dave goes, I got you something, Rowan, and he holds up like a little paper bag.
I extend my hand out for the bag.
Do what?
I extend my hand for the bag. Thank you, Dave.
Okay, he just goes, oh, okay. Look, I'm really tired. I don't really think I'm up for another adventure.
No, it's okay.
This sounds like something really personal for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a rest if you need me or anything else. I think I'm just gonna be at the canopy until it's time to go.
Alright.
If it's really important, I can bring up Ark and see what he's doing.
Bring up Ark. Creatures that attack who knows how many Gridanians. Partially void. We might need all the help we can get.
So from the sounds of it, you're going down there for the flowers and to kill everything they ever dared to touch those you loved.
Oh.
Burn the ground.
I must
I will.
I mean, if we didn't need the
I must
flowers,
point out that
I'd
we haven't-
guessed explosives, but, you know.
I
must point out that we haven't truly rested since we got back.
No, we haven't.
wasn't suggesting that we leave this exact second.
No, of course not.
More information about what else, how many people have been affected.
So, gather information on Tamtera and the area around it. Hit any news or jobs with a particular information and maybe make a bit of spite money.
I'm not looking to make money right now. I'm looking to find answers. And if this is something I should have dealt with a while ago, this is all on me.
I'll visit the Conjurers Guild, see if they've had any other cases of rampant insanity.
I wasn't saying you're in there for the money. I'm just saying we can make money while we put more on everyone that ever wronged us.
Money. That would make the Alra go round.
We knew
That's
this. Don't
That's
ask.
what life.
Don't eat. Don't eat. Don't.
So okay.
I have a simple set of instructions. Someone's here. Wait for Sigbert to wake up. Because if we're going to go down there And if even if we don't all go down there, I'm still going. But we need to find a safe way to get those plants if they're as poisonous Dax says they are. But no.
I could probably go and find a few items at the market. Probably a bag that I can seal well enough. Some thick gloves to help plug it.
With your earlier knowledge nature, do you know how to safely handle them? You just know it's a time-consuming process.
I mean, I could pick them. It take me a little time, but I could pick them.
I do have Mage Hand.
Yes, I do too.
Oh, you meta.
We should probably figure out how much of it Sigbert would need.
Exactly. It's going to be a time-consuming task, and we may not have enough time. But we may not need an entire field, only a few.
Even still, grab as much as we can, and he would have extra in case something else comes up. If he finds a cure, he'll probably want to pass it around, and thus would probably appreciate extras.
I do have one section of my haversack empty currently, so...
I'll still probably go look for a bag at the market. It's fine.
Hello?
Sure. Familiar face pokes his head in. Blonde hair, ponytail, eye patch.
The mailman.
Hey? Sigbert?
Currently incapacitated.
Oh. Alright.
Yes, Cat.
He just picks up a couple of boxes, brings them in, and sets them down. I wasn't expecting to see you all here. Good to see you all again.
It's good seeing you as well.
Pulls out a note. Flips it open and, starts waving it around, waiting for somebody to take it.
Rowan puts her hand out.
Hands it over to you. You guys actually saved me a trip. This is kind of convenient.
The first time when I called you,
God, why am I blanking on the freaking title?
I want to say this guy's name starts with an A.
It's Hallicent.
Allison, thank you.
He goes, Kane-sana would actually like to speak with you all.
The
Or
elder
at least
seats here.
representative.
Well, probably not Tart.
Just little flat line for a mouse.
Okay, when do they want to speak with us?
As soon as possible?
Hyacinth, you've been all around.
Yeah.
Have there been other people who've been attacked out by Tantara? How many people have been attacked?
Kinda hard to say, but there's been a lot of missing people cases.
Any people showing back up in town absolutely out of their fucking mind?
No. But a couple of... He kind of swallows for a moment and goes... I didn't realize I was doing it. And I can't apologize enough to those families.
Doing what?
I was getting packages sent to me to be delivered to people with notes. We're not supposed to read or open the mail, so I was doing it, and I didn't even know I was delivering people's heads.
Are you telling me there's a head in this box?
No. Those... We actually started checking recently. Those are all medical supplies that Sigbert ordered.
I think you'd
Has
be able to
anything been
smell
delivered?
something like that.
Did you... I'm sorry, you asked if,
Has anything been delivered to the Darksbane estate?
no.
Okay. Kato,
Yeah.
will you come with me to the CT?
Sure. Yeah.
I know Tart doesn't want to go, but I want to find out what she wants.
Thank you for going. I'm sorry.
We weren't.
I will join you as well.
Okay.
We weren't gonna make you go, Turt. That's just. I'm not sure how much she'd want to see you, even.
Well, she sent me a personal letter for a request, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna go rest as a canopy with Date. Just let me know how it goes.
Will do.
At that point, Allison kind of scratches his arm. All I know about those other packages was most of the time they were sent to adventurers or people associated with very large groups. I believe several of the notes were typically trying to draw people towards Tamtera.
And you have no idea who sent
Who
them.
from?
Never got a return. Or if there was a return, it was turned out to be someone who either didn't send it or just completely nonsense.
Non-existent.
Yeah.
And you never saw any of the people who sent them.
No, actually, I'd usually pick up my packages from a drop point.
Didn't expect too much of a lead on that, but the whole head in the box thing is good to know.
Yeah.
Well, not good to know, but you know.
So whoever's doing this, there's some conscious being behind it that's basically torturing the victim. And they're
Yeah. Just more motivation for us. Yay!
If you guys don't need anything else from me, I'm gonna go continue with my deliveries.
Yeah, if we need you for anything, we'll come find you.
And if you get anything else or hear anything of worth, please come and find us.
Would you two roll a perception on him?
Can I as well?
Yeah,
Perception or like sense motive?
either or. I mean, since motive's gonna get you something different than what I wanted to try to explain.
Okay.
Fiona and Kato, he seems... When you guys look at him, he seems kind of normal. Mostly because he's like kind of keeping his face turned away a bit. Rowan, you look at him and you realize he's exhausted. You can see the bags under his eyes. You can see how bloodshot his eyes are. You can see, despite you know how strong Allison is, he's drooping at the shoulders and at the knees. You're examining and you're guessing he's just been working himself to the bone.
How's it? The last time any rest?
I mean, I don't know.
I think you need to get some rest.
If he doesn't remember the last time he got any rest, he definitely needs to get some rest.
He looks like he's about to fall over. Can't you see it?
Oh, I see it now, but yeah, if he doesn't remember when he got rest last, he definitely...
I'm touchy right now, and I apologize, but this is going to be me until we get this fixed.
Well, you know him better than we do, so you probably pick up on that better.
Let's go to Connie Sana and get this over with and get some sleep before all of us have. You, and I looked at Hyacinth and I pointed him. I said, I want to know that you're in bed for at least the next 6 hours.
At that point, Marcel just kind of comes up the door and he goes, "What?"
Rowan turns around, sees him, and jumps on him.
Like,
That's not a good idea.
hurts.
Yeah, that probably not a good idea to jump on the injured person.
Hey, I didn't mean like physically jump on him. I should jump and hug him, okay?
Well,
Still.
the only thing I was saying is, like, you hug him and he kind of shifts his weight mad and he's like, "Oh, leg." And he's like, "Hey, Rowan."
Hi. Do you remember anything about what happened to you?
I was out hunting with your father. We split up.
What?
Huh?
You're with my father.
Yeah, I was hunting with your dad, and we split up to cover more ground. And I remember being in a clearing. I had a shot lined up. Beautiful, probably 14, 16 point buck.
Wait.
Dead to rights, and then everything went dark.
Where's my father? I look over at Kato. Did you see my father?
Not after they split. I was only attuned to his ether while I was there. I can't really...
Okay. Okay.
Do you have a way of contacting your father?
My father hates sleep. Alright. Let's get this meeting over with Connie Sana. You, at a point this time at Marcel, you go to my house. You check and see if my father came home. You message me. You, and I point at Hyacinth, you go get some sleep.
The two of them were like,
Don't argue with me. I might not be able to hurt you very much, Hyacinth, but I will toast your ass and then I will have Tart heal you.
Alice is like, okay. He just like walks away. Marcel's
With how upset she is, I recommend you listen to her.
Marcel's like, Rowan, I can barely walk. That's 3 stories.
Maybe Hyacinth can carry you there.
Why don't you both go to my house and Hyacinth, you take the guest room?
He's like,
Somebody just... I have to go through the seat here. Somebody please just do that for me.
no, like, okay.
Just looks at the two of them. The hells hath no fury like a woman scorned.
But neither of us scored her.
Yes, but something else has, and...
You almost died.
We're like,
Time bullshit. Don't question it. Just go.
Marcel's just like,
Please. I'll tell you about it later.
I don't want to know.
Good idea.
Let's just put it away. You were in my arms and you were falling apart. You were dying and healing and then dying all over again.
He's like,
Never know this?
You see his eyes get really wide. And he's leaning away. He's like,
Kato saved you. You're alive. Now we have to stop this. Go do what I asked you to do, and both of you get some rest at my.
He's like,
Marcel, you know where my rooms are? You just both go in there.
goes,
Arguing.
okay. At that point, Alice just like pats him on the shoulder and picks him up.
Dak's like, oh, wait, Allison, 1 second. Here, this should keep you until you can, get some rest. It eliminates fatigue or exhaustion.
He just goes, okay, thank you.
Just so you're not gonna have a bad time.
No.
Rowan reaches for her gift purse, and she's going to hand on her about 1,000 gil. I don't know how much supplies you're going to need before you get some rest, but this is take this to get those supplies. If you need more, let me know.
Okay, I have more than enough gil, but alright.
The two of them just leave.
Okay, someone needs to find works at some point, but for now, get over to the seats here.
We have a link pearl for that, but I'll contact Wirt and tell him where you went.
Dak, Yedrin, could you look into leads in the meantime?
Yes?
I would definitely check out the Adventurers Guild at the cafe. They might know. Even Mother Mion might be working as well.
Maybe also pay a visit to the Adder's Nest. They might have some intel. They might not be willing to share it, but they'll probably have some intel about it.
And so that hunt likes skill, there could be a bounty on it.
So Kato gets back up and holds the door for Rowan.
Here, let's just before I follow them.
After you, I don't know the way as well as you do.
Okay, off to the Glen.
He's just gonna follow after her.
Once Rowan, Fio, and Carter take off, gonna peel himself off the wall they're standing to, and well,
Wait a minute, are you that afraid of Rowan right now?
To be fair, you went Mama Bear.
that was intense.
Yeah.
So Todd, do you want to head to the canopy and just do some asking around and see the date, make a list of what we need to buy?
I mean, I already know the supplies I probably need, so I could just go get that myself. And then I was probably gonna go back to the canopy and just lay down for a little bit.
I'll follow you to the marketplace. I probably should pick some stuff up, maybe get in contact with Rourke and tell them what's going on.
Okay, well, I'll trust you with works then.
Okay.
Kim holds up a hand. What should I do?
You could probably go with Yedrin if you'd like.
Alright.
Was that Camilla?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also. Rowan, as you and Kato head to the blind, you pass by the Conjurer's Guild, and you can see the brazier sitting there, kind of glowing with a bit of fire just in front of it. And you can see two of the guards standing just in front of the blind. They look at you as you approach, and they say, "Business?"
The Elder Seedseer sent for us.
Do you have proof of such?
We have a note. Just looks over to Rowan.
I hand the note over to the guard. This we received this from the delivery service requesting our presence.
They kind of flip it open. They read over it for a few seconds, and they close it. The Seedseer is not within the blind. Take the crystal behind you. Or take the crystal in the blind. It will take you to where she is currently located.
Just nods.
Understood. Thank you.
What did you say, Ron?
Wait.
I kind of look a little shocked that she's not there, but okay.
Fiona came with us?
Yeah, Fiona came.
They say we apologize. Normally she is in the blind to receive visitors, but for the time
getting a
being,
little
she
late.
is in a meeting with a number of the other Pajali, but your matter is of the utmost concern to us all, so please proceed onward, and know that you are being given a great honor.
As we head over to the whatchamacallit, Rowan goes, no pressure.
Straightens up his clothes.
The crystal?
Yeah, we're heading over to the crystal.
Alright, do you all touch it?
Yep.
As you do so, you feel your body dissipate into the aether flow, and you're pulled, and when you come to, you look around yourself, and you find you're somewhere within Gridania, but it's nowhere that you've ever seen. Around you is this massive canopy of moss kind of forming a dome, heading all the way up to the sky. You would guess it's probably a good 1,300 feet above you. Trees are growing up thick, covered with this moss and vines, sprouting out in other locations like mountains of bark and mushrooms and these other things just growing. And you can see buildings built into the side of them, passing along, streets made out of their branches as they interconnect. Stoneworks like lily pads run across some of these. And you can see tiny ponds moving upwards like rice paddies, and then flowing down into this endless abyss with waterfalls. It is breathtakingly beautiful. You note that the grass is very similar to fey grass, and then it changes from this dark purple to pink, back to green. The leaves on the trees shifting from bright gold to cherry blossom pink and back to green again as you wander about. And as you walk, you realize there's not a single person here that's not a Pajali, aside from you.
Pajali lands. This is very rare that they would accept outsiders, I believe. Stupid dog.
Sorry.
She started scratching herself while she was right up against the cabinets.
You
And then she started barking at the noises that she was making.
Yeah.
You look forward, and as you're examining this area, you do see a single stone platform with a raised table on it, where a number of Pajali are sitting with Kani-sana at the head. I would like all three of you to roll perception.
Guys, make it good.
Good boy. Rowan, because Kato and Fiona are kind of distracted a bit by the grandeur of the area that they're in, they don't notice it, but you're very quick to realize, being from Gridania, two things. One, by a quick estimation, you realize you've probably seen over 300 Pajali already, which in Gridania, they've kind of been talking like there's only like 10 or 14.
Okay.
So there's a lot of them. Secondly, at that little round table with Kani-sana at it, you can see at least 6 of the 18 people sitting there are old. Visibly old.
Damn.
That's unusual. They're really old then.
Yeah.
Yes, as in these are Pajali that are showing age. They are wrinkled, they have beards, and like 1 or 2 of them is balding. The other thing that you're quick to note about them is the ones that are really old, their horns have grown out and they're kind of like spreading almost like deer across their head now in this ever-expanding network.
So, head of the Conjurers Guild, Renisana, is he there too? What's that the name?
He is not.
Okay. I'd at least like to see a familiar face.
Yeah, the only familiar face is Kanizana.
Okay. So,
I was looking around at the changing colors and wondering when he was slipped some drugs.
Kato. Shh. Don't sing. Right away. Be calm. Be cool. Be cool, okay?
Theon steps forward and bows deeply. Pardon our intrusion,
Really?
but I believe we were summoned.
As you say this, Fiona, you look up and you can audibly hear all the heads turn towards you. This creak of bones and dried skin. Baggy-eyed individuals with glowing yellow eyes all just turn and stare at you.
Heather just bows while
There's silence, and then Kani-sana very slowly rises up and she says, I would have preferred that they had had you wait for me to return, but I suppose said matter can wait no longer. I welcome you, Lady Fionn, Lady Darksbane, Sir Hailstrom, to the heart of the Eld.
Thank you
Moreover,
for such an honor.
Indeed. I would ask that you tell no one of what you have seen here.
understood.
As you wish.
Not a soul.
Indeed.
So how may the mayhem be of assistance?
I assume, from what I have heard in reports, that this is now a matter that interests you as well. We, of Gridania and of Apraeus, have a new blight upon us. The lambs of Dalamud seem to have returned.
I'm sorry, can you say that one more time? The what of Dalamar?
The lambs,
The
of
lambs.
Dalamud.
Even without them, they still operate?
Indeed. Apparently, now these cultists believe that if they can gather enough blood, they can attract the hound's scent and resurrect their moon.
That would explain the heads.
So are they talking about a summoning? Primal summoning?
That we can't say. I don't think they've been gathering any aether crystals through our knowledge. However, from our reports, they are luring people in to commit mass murders.
Sounds more like summoning a void scent.
Well,
Looks to Fionn to verify this.
well, we can already tell you that they're not attempting to summon Void Scent, though Void Scent are coming to them as a result.
Their end is?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Do we know what their end game is? What are they looking to accomplish?
As I said, they're trying to resurrect the moon. The destroyed moon, Dalamud.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm still a little bit in shock of just hearing this in general.
Indeed. And we can understand your shock. It was a surprise to us as well. And frankly, It is our own fault that matters have gotten as bad as they have.
And say that.
Well, for two reasons. One, we had heard of the Lamb's return about a year ago. We didn't think anything of it. What is a cult without something to worship, after all? And moreover, from our understanding, their numbers were small. Too small to do anything in particular. So we kept a loose eye on them.
But it spiraled out of control.
Indeed. We let our focus slip on them with the matters of the Garleans and the Primals and everything else. Secondly, their numbers at this point are primarily made of Duskwights.
That has troubling implications.
It has come to our understanding at this point that their recruitment grew large as a means of revenge for a number of Duskwights within Redania who are seeking to destroy the city as retribution for their treatment.
So you can't really send the whalers or the adders in without it looking worse on you.
At this point, I don't think that's a problem. It's more an issue is we're not certain that they could handle it.
Do we know of those that have lost?
It will be a black spot on Redania for a long time, but we assume we've lost close to 6,000 people.
Okay, this is much bigger than we thought. Okay.
So, is it fair to say that Marcel, my friend who attacked, is the only one who has survived the field?
We've had a few people from Tamtera go in and explore who have been attacked or have done investigations and come back whole. There are those who have been attacked on the highway by individuals in red cloaks who have gotten away. As of recent, though, they have grown far more efficient.
Seems my intervention is all that got him out of there alive.
Kato, can you share with the Seed Seer it was that you saw that attacked Marcel?
Well, first a little exposition on that. For some reason I have this power to enter another plane that's kind of in between everything else.
If you want to, you can hand wave it and just say that I explain what happened, what you saw.
Yeah. Just explains about his power a bit before going into what he saw.
She goes, that's interesting. She looks a little confused about it, but she starts to think.
I'm as confused as you are, don't worry.
The creature that you described bears striking resemblance to Bloody Mary, but she is not in any way associated with the Lambs of Dalamud. She's just a very strong creature who happens to live in the woods that we have yet to be able to pin down.
And the tendrily thing?
I have no recollection of it. but with some references to history, that... I doubt it, but it could be Galvanoth the Destroyer? It was supposedly some old king that used to exist that was perverted by his own lust for power. But we've all but assumed him just a legend.
And they'll
Possible.
scour the areas as well as go deep into Tamtara.
Well,
Possible that their blood sacrifices have had a primal summoning like effect and summon something that they view as this legend.
Sigurd did mention that though they were playing with the magic, that they may have been novices, and whatever they summon, they may not be fully aware of. They might be trying to do one thing and something else came along with a totally different concept.
well, as we earlier said, we can't be sure about a primal. They have gathered no crystals. But with the blood sacrifices and human aether, it's possible they attracted a void scent calling itself that, or something similar.
Yeah. Sounds about right. A void scent taking on that name and an attempt to sound like a god of some sort.
Regardless, we contacted you because we wanted you to take care of Tamtara for us. It is, at this point, the Lambs' seat of power. We know you have done exemplary work before. We have heard of your primal slaying capabilities, so who better to trust with this matter? Additionally, from the way Miss Darksbane is speaking, she would have done this whether we asked or not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Building standing.
The only reason it's still the Deepcroft is still intact is we need some flowers from down there apparently. Otherwise I'm pretty sure she would have blown it up by now.
We will definitely be addressing the Tamtara issue. And going in there, your behest as well. Just more reason. Especially now finding out so many more have lost their lives.
We did have one other request regarding Tamtara. Something of a personal matter, but we understand if it's not possible.
And that is?
There is a woman who is more or less the rebellion leader for the Dusk Whites against Gridania. She, from all information we can gather, has no belief in the Lambs, but has sided with them in a bid to destroy Gridania. Her name is Tiene Nafiu. Nafiu.
Can you
put that
write that in chat? Yeah.
And what is it you'd like of this?
If at all possible, bring her back to us alive. We would ask you, Miss Darksbane, to quell your fury with her and her alone. And we understand that may be difficult, as all information states she may as well be the general strategist for all of this. But we would like to send a message to all Duskwights within Gridania that Gridanians seek justice above all, and the sins that we have committed against the past will be cleaned however we may.
Reparations take time.
Indeed. But we also want to show that anyone can receive fair trial and be heard. And as likely as it is that she will be put to death for her crimes, we can't imagine how much worse it would become if we just slaughtered all of these Duskwights without giving them trial.
As much as I would love to completely guarantee her safe return, as you know, sometimes things in battle can go wrong, but I will definitely do my best.
We understand completely. Things
We
happen.
will
It is just a request.
we will attempt to bring her back alive, but we can make no guarantees, especially with the Ora.
At that point,
We will do everything we can.
At that point, one of the old Pajali starts to rise up, shakily putting his hands down onto the counter as he looks towards the group. You can see he's got this kind of like network of horns growing off. The points are all glowing this almost vibrant lime green. As he looks at each of them, he says, "I do not sense any of the green or the elements upon them. Kane-sana, why do we trust those who cannot hear?" Kane-sana just kind of looks at him and goes, "Sir, while I am humbled by your decision to speak and your superiority and seniority over me, know that these groups of adventurers are some of the finest that the realm has to offer."
If it makes you feel any better, one of our own has received conjure training and can commune with the elementals.
He just kind of holds a hand to you and looks back to Kane-sana. She says, "Those who can hear the elements are dwindling. And above all else, they are busy keeping the Green Wrath at bay. We cannot be an army of listeners, as the gift is rarer now than it has ever been. Forgive me, Elder, for not telling you more of this. But the heart of the Eld is supposed to be a paradise for us to rest until the elements decide they're done. I saw no reason to bring worries of current Gridania to you yet. You should seek our advice more often, Kane. You are but 25 summers. We have thousands." At that point, he sits down. He almost looks like he roots to the chair as he sits. Like he's part of it and growing into it. Nevertheless, and any roads, might there be anything else that you needed to speak of, Miss Darksbane, Mr. Hellstrom, Eliswa?
I'm sorry, I can tell her hesitancy is probably because Fiona totally appropriated her Duskwhite name.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kata's just kind of resisting the urge to ask about payment because it's not just something.
Rowan is just waiting to say, there is an element going in there. Fire, bitch! Sorry. Again, that's like totally out of character. I would never say that, but that's what I'm resisting the urge to do. And maybe burn that old racist bastard.
We have our orders and we will carry them out as you wish. Do forgive us for the intrusion.
We understand, and upon completion of this duty, you can expect payment for us for a service well rendered to Gridania. An additional payment should you bring Talhain to us alive.
And
Understood.
keep whatever magical weapons and such we may find down there, so long as we're not disturbing any graves.
I would say yes, within reason. If it is apparent that an item belongs to Tamtera or is from a familial grave, please leave it there.
As I said, without disturbing any graves.
I just felt
Well,
it
you're
was
not-
good to reiterate. Additionally, I will offer you all one boon before you leave us. You see all the heads turn to Kani-san, and there's just this small glare, and then they roll back to you.
I'm just gonna look at her. What?
A favor, I think she means.
Isn't a boon a gift?
Yes.
Character.
She says, take with you a cup of the water from here. These waters are enchanted and highly potent with aether. Keep them on you as long as you want. The water will never go bad. And when you drink it, you see that all the heads are turned back to her again, and all of them are kind of glaring. The water will rejuvenate you and make you younger.
Thank you, Elder Seedseer. We are humbled and unworthy of the gift, but we will accept it nonetheless.
Indeed. I wish you all safe journeys, and above all else, success.
We will do our best. And we will do our best to make all of Pajali here proud. Accomplishment.
We will endeavor not to fail you.
There's just this
Bows.
nod from all of them, like in unison.
Bows to them before starting to head off. Gets a small flask of the water before going.
Rowan does the same.
Yep, Fiona bows deeply as well before leaving. Getting a cup of water.
Eventually, as you turn to leave, with Kato and Rowan already gone, Fiona, one of the old Pajali kind of points a finger at you and says, "You, one of the frozen lands."
Fiona stops, turns, and bows. Guilty as charged.
Books whisper to me of you. Know that fate conspires against you, and a dark cloud rests over your very soul. They whisper of blood and fire from on high and below. God what makes you happy, or it will be stripped from you.
I appreciate the warning. She bows and leaves.
There's silence as you start moving back through the heart of the Eld, stopping to get your flask. At that point, you all leave, exit the blind, and find yourselves back in Regania.
Burn, get a dust crate, and come.
You broke up.
Oh, I just said so. Go in, burn, get a dust sprite, and come out.
Fionn, meanwhile, looks troubled and distracted. I've fought against fate for some time now, but I'm wanting to guard those dear to me.
Take it from the
Any road, yes.
Fate is not.
Rowan looks at Fionn. Did something else happen when Otto and I left?
Merely one of the other Pajali speaking to me.
Said something about your fate, I take it.
Something about losing someone close? Because you mentioned Gargo's purpose?
Something to that effect, yes.
Oh.
Well, we should get back to the others before they start to worry.
And Fionn, for the record, your family will help you guard as well. Fate be damned.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that so loud.
Believe in fate. I do. I will leave you all. I must see if my father has returned, or if maybe we'll be looking for my father in Tantera. Because if we
Understood.
are, no one will walk up there alive.
I don't believe that he is in there. Well, he didn't head in that direction with Marseille anyway, but he didn't enter with Marseille, so it seems he would.
To be fair, Marcel didn't enter either. Marcel got attacked out in the woods.
Okay. In this timeline.
No, both of them. He was out hunting. He was nowhere near Tantera.
Okay. I misunderstood.
Yeah.
Or misheard or something.
Regardless, Dak has been snoozing with Adol for this time. Adol has contacted Ark, who has essentially said, I can be there, but it's going to be a week because I went to Apernaeus. Works, what did you spend hours doing?
Well, he would have been contacted soon after we got at the doctor's office, but he would have spent, so he's probably spent like, what, how long we were in the experience and how long until we got to the doctor's office?
Took you about an hour through the experience, probably a 20-minute walk back to the doctor's office.
And then probably like 10 or 20 minutes of talking, and then we probably would have gone in a call on his link shell saying, hey, Works, got some news.
Yeah, what kind of news?
Rowan's pissed and would want your help destroying an entire dungeon.
Oh, you just say it was Rowan's pissed. I was gonna destroy whatever it was anyway. So what's the deal?
Go ahead.
As you're kind of like in this conversation, Works, roll a perception. You are looking around and I don't know where you are, you're basically wandering the city. And it's around this point that you start seeing Aver start coming towards you. He's kind of holding up a hand. You see Edda and his entourage behind him.
I'll get back to you in a minute, Hunt. There's a few faces I haven't seen in a while.
Hey, Workson, how have you been?
I've been.
You've been? Well, that's something. We just kind of rolled into Gridania not too long ago. We heard there was a job need doing.
Have any crazy adventures since we last saw you? What, year and change now?
You last saw them at Satasha. Has that actually been a year?
Stasha?
Yeah.
Only like a few months.
Okay, I thought the last time we saw him was before Apernaeus.
No,
Honestly, I thought Sasha was there too. Oh, yeah.
They basically, Camilla went to take care of them.
Okay.
While Azir and Ia were taking care of the Warriors of Darkness.
Okay.
So, in fact, they actually ran Satasha concurrently with you. They just went to the other side, killed a bunch of grass.
I don't think we saw them though.
That can attest they talked to them.
To be fair, I can't remember about it. It's been a
Alright,
while.
I'll take the M word for it.
Okay.
I can corroborate. I mean, Cam was there after all.
Yeah.
And she did meet up with you in Illport afterwards.
Yeah, it's true.
He goes,
Okay.
Well, honestly, we haven't had a whole lot. We've made some money. We've gotten by, gotten a little stronger. We helped the goblin set up shop down by the Longstop.
Nice. Yeah, we have our own home base too.
Well, I mean, it was a bit more than a home base. Basically, we took care of some curls and some other things like that. I think she was setting up a cheese making factory.
Ooh.
I'm not really entirely sure, but yeah. Anyway, we just got back over here. Like I said, we heard that there was an issue that needed taken care of, so came to offer our services.
Yeah, it's just told we have a mission as well.
Yeah.
I don't know the details, but apparently we have to go do what we do best, and that's cause a little bit of mayhem.
He offers his hand out to you and is like, well, I wish you luck with that, Works.
Yeah, take
You
care.
guys have been good to us, and we wouldn't be where we are without you. Edda just kind of smiles. She's like, dear, we came here for another reason, didn't we? And he goes, indeed we did. And then he kind of pulls out a piece of paper and slips it into your pocket, Works.
Rick, just kind of looks and gives him a nod. I'll shake his hand.
If you would pass that along to the rest of your group, we'd appreciate that as well.
I'll let him know.
We'll set a date for when we're both done working.
Alright.
And he just kind of smiles and nods. You see him wrap his hand around Edda's and squeezes it tightly as they walk away.
Alright, take care, you crazy kids. And don't do anything I wouldn't do.
He just
Unless you call me first.
They ruined my. I'm gonna kill him myself.
Alright, get back on the link shell. Alright, Adrian, what's up?
To explain it quickly and succinctly, the creatures in Tam Tower may or may not have been what attacked Marcel and caused the whole fiasco at the clinic. Hick, Warren really wants to go pollinate them. Also, whole flower down there that's gonna be used to cure her mother. So we basically
go down there, pick a flower, kill a whole bunch of shit, blow it up, and then call it a day.
Well, we might be able to just blow it up because it's a tomb of some sort, so bad mojo.
Oh, we'll find a way.
Anyways, gather supplies for Freud-sent cultists, and considering it's a tomb, possibly undead, because cultists. Just meet up at the canopy. I think Todd's gonna be heading there a bit early. And maybe look for a bit of information on the area and stuff sighted around the area.
Alright, I'll meet you at the canopy. Be there hopefully soon.
Okay. See you in a little bit.
I go inside my head.
Okay.
You know what I'm gonna ask you, right, Bahamut?
You want more power?
I really want to kill something.
I already showed you how to turn your weapon into something more fierce. You're so eager for me to break your body.
I'm not asking for all of it. Give me a little bit more of a dose this one time.
Persuasion.
Oh yeah, based on my charisma score. Let's do that.
Stepping into 5e there, Ark.
Diplomacy.
I was gonna say, wait, is there a persuasion?
You have to admit, persuasion is a better word for it.
Yeah.
It is.
No, with a 7.
With a 7, he goes,
Nope, nothing.
I will do this for you. But know that there is a heavy cost associated with it.
There's been a heavy cost associated with everything you've had me do so far. Or everything you've given me so far.
30 years of your life. Because your body is not ready for it.
30 years, huh?
Don't do it.
30 years.
That seems like a pretty hefty price.
Do it. Don't do it.
What's the trade-off? I want to know the details of what I'm getting into first before I make any agreements.
Well, for 30 years, a day or two of a great deal more power than you currently have. Your body will expand. Your heart will be capable of twice as much. Most weapons will find themselves ineffective against you. And additionally, I may be able to lift you aloft and let you fly. And if you are really lucky, you may find yourself able to wield the Drakenheim.
Okay, hold on. I got disconnected for a second.
Nice.
And no, okay. So what was the last thing you heard?
From you?
Yeah.
Nothing. I listed off all the shit that you would get.
Oh. I didn't even hear all that.
Rundown. He said you would be able to wield something called the Drakenheim. You would... Your heart would be able to basically double what it does now. Most weapons would find themselves ineffectual against you. You'd be able to fly.
Oh, damn.
Or you might be able to fly. He said 2 of them were for if you got lucky. And it would allow you to tap more into his strength.
Yeah, I don't want to go down there being all cavalier about it. I don't know, 30 years seems way too much.
Indeed, that's why I said the price is steep. Your body is not ready.
I know it's not ready. I want it to be ready.
Then go work out some more!
You understand my frustration.
Yes, I understand your frustration works, and I'm frustrated. You're the worst meat puppet ever.
Hey, at least I haven't gotten this killed yet, alright? I know a few close calls, but we're still here.
Yes, you're still there, but that's mostly because of the Dragon Girl.
Yeah, I can't argue with that one there.
And because the little one keeps you alive.
And the
Can't argue.
birds everything.
He goes, at that point, Bahamut goes, "Look, Worksend, I want to help you. I really, really do. But the full extent
But I'm not
of
ready.
my power is something that would break you. I don't even want to think what it would do to your mind, let alone your body. I am trying to work with you so that we both get what we want. And then when it comes time for me to leave your body, I don't rip your soul out and leave you an empty, mindless husk for all eternity."
Yeah, I prefer not to happen. Alright.
Because I don't know if you haven't realized yet, but our souls are currently bound to one another.
Okay, we'll do this the right way. I'll go down there, we'll kick some ass. Without taking 30 years off my life. We'll do it without the whole power without the whole power boost thing. But after this, you and me need to have a conversation about what we need to do from here on into.
I can try something, Workson. It's not as intense. You'll probably hurt for a while, and there will be some backlash, but it won't be as bad.
If it'll help.
Very
I want to be able to do more.
It won't do much more, but you'll at least be more resilient.
I can go with resilience.
Very well. This is temporary, mind you, until you're out of your current endeavor. And know this, you will suffer afterwards.
What are you talking, like a few days of just constant agonizing pain?
I'm not gonna call it agonizing pain for a few days. Have you ever known someone that excessively builds up their body?
Oh.
You know what happens when they push it just a little too far?
Oh, like the muscles rip and oh. Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yes. This will do that to you after we're done. But my power will keep you together until said moment.
Why can't these seals ever be give you power, but you're gonna talk like but you're gonna talk about two octaves higher for a week?
I mean, if you would have asked me to make you more silver tongue, we could have done a deal like that.
Yeah, I know you could have done that, but unfortunately, we all know how much trouble my mother already gets me.
It's the best I can offer right now, Wexand.
I know. I appreciate what you can offer.
Do you want
I'll take it.
Very well. Breathe deeply. Close your eyes. And focus on the fire inside of you.
Alright, I'm focusing on it.
And you start to hear and feel Bahamut swell inside of you. And after a moment, you realize it's letting off a terror flare into that fire. And it starts to spread through your veins like wildfire. And it burns and it hurts. And you can feel it pump through you. You can feel your heart swell with the heat, all the arteries opening up as the worst case of like stomach burn and indigestion hits you. You feel this belch roll up and it spreads through your head. And as everything kind of pulsates and pumps for a moment, you flex your hands and there's this sort of numbness that presides over you. You kind of roll your fingers for a second. And you realize that throughout all of this, you've been inhaling. And you haven't stopped inhaling. And it's your lung capacity is basically quadrupled. And you start to exhale. And there's no soreness in your muscles from what you've been doing. Works.
Yes.
On top of all bonuses that you already have, add +8 to your Constitution score.
Holy shit.
Damn.
On top of that, you may also add a +4 to your Strength.
Sweet.
So we're looking at another 4 to strength, 8 to con.
Yes.
Holy fuck. Now, what's that do for my hit points at this point?
Add a.
It would be plus
you're
4
level
times 9.
so add 36 hit points.
Holy shit.
Hey, he's not gonna be useless for once.
Yeah,
Oh
36.
god, that's just rude.
Well, his damage is gonna go up by like another 2, and his 2 attacks can go up by like another 2.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
how's this-
attack is still based off dex.
Does they go for highest?
It can go for highest. It's whichever he prefers to swing with.
Yeah. Well, until I'm taking fighter finesse or whatever the hell it's called. I can roll strength for now. Okay.
Alright. So, after your little conversation with Bahamut, you feel and look like you're in the best shape of your life. You're lean, you're cut. The best way I could put it for you works, and I know that you're going to get this, you went from base form Vegeta to Super Vegeta in terms of muscle expansion.
Oh dear God.
This is something that Owen is going to actually notice a change in him with, other than the giant ass tail.
It's going to be fairly apparent almost immediately.
Basically, he's been hitting the steroids.
Dragonoids.
Likewise, your face has actually gotten leaner. Your jawline is now more pronounced. And you've got a very... Where you might have had beforehand like a little pudge on your neck, it's now kind of that perfect line so that your chin is always very well defined.
Can I get a plus 1 to charisma for pure sexiness?
No.
No,
No.
this is just your body changing.
Your stupidity cancels that out.
Whoa.
That's true.
Wow,
Oh jeez, Kato is just
Kato!
I'm so
savage.
catty tonight.
Wait.
I'm just thinking of a Extreme Goofy movie. It's like, you're cool, cancels out his fool.
I get bitchy when I'm tired.
Oh my god.
Aw.
You would be tired of God.
It's okay, I can laugh at it.
That's fine.
I was gonna say something about he's not gonna be dragooning so hard.
I was gonna... Kato, I'm gonna say that you guys meet back up at the end. Whatever conversation you have there is it for tonight.
Alrighty. I'll talk to you guys later then.
Night.
Good night, Kato.
Alright, so works. At this point, you meet everyone back at the inn. We'll say as an addition to Bahamut's little thing, you did grow about 5 inches.
So I'm like taller than Kato at this point.
Around the same size as Kato.
How tall is Kato?
Kato's in the 7s.
I'm 7 foot even.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So you're probably like...
He's an RO.
Like a hair above it.
Oh my god.
With your hair, you might be taller than Kato, but...
Probably.
Woman vanished to crazy Aura anime here, I guess.
Yeah.
It just makes the Super Vegeta thing fucking on point.
Oh my god, I just remember if I actually had the Vegeta hair.
Yeah.
Anyway, as you come back in, and you can see Yezrin and Rowan are kind of seated at the bar together.
No. Rowan's still not with everybody.
I was just advancing to. Oh, that's right. You went to go see your family.
Yeah, I went to make sure my dad was home.
For brevity's sake, you get up there, Rowan. Your dad is not there.
So my dad's missing.
Do what?
So then that means my dad's missing.
Yes.
That day is missing.
And Ark is going to take how long? That shit, I'm blowing the place up now.
Yeah, Art said he went to Opernaeus. It's going to be a week because he refuses to teleport into Gridania.
Oh my god, you have other teleports most likely. What a bent branch, Jesus.
He is a bent branch.
Oh, I shouldn't have laughed.
Okay, so I'm at the bar with Hunt now. I'm pissed and I'm drinking. No, I'm not drinking.
Basically, say at this point, you're like eating what Date got you, which he got you a stuffed bacon-wrapped pork loin because he figured you should enjoy that, with cheesy polenta and a big rash of essentially like maple carrots and cauliflower.
Meh.
I would probably be thoroughly enjoying this, but I'm probably just being absent eating it because I'm thinking and worrying about father and everything else.
So, I'm assuming Fiona's sitting there, and I have no idea where Camilla went. I'm assuming Camilla is in her room.
Probably.
Kind of moping.
Maybe.
Having a heart-to-heart with Induin. Again.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not your therapist!
I'm a sword, damn it!
I'm gonna start charging you for this shit.
Oh god, I just realized. Back when Cam first found Edwin, it would have been the perfect time for her to go, "Are you really a sword?" "No, I'm a teapot, of course I'm a sword!"
Oh my goodness. No, I'm a butter knife.
Regardless, Works, you walk in. Dak, are you down there with them, or are you with the doll?
Probably with a doll.
Alright, so Yedrin, Fiona, Rowan, Works walks into the inn at this point.
Theon looks up from her grotton to greet Works and just drops her fork.
Ting, 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 ting.
I was gonna say the reaction here would be like looks up, sees him, looks away, takes a swig.
Rowan hasn't even looked up yet.
I sit down next to Rowan.
So...
It's like, sup?
Just sit down next to Rowan, like, so, when are we gonna go blow everything up?
Rowan turns around and goes, "What the fuck?
Theon just...
As if my day wasn't bad enough? What the fuck magic bullshit did you get into?"
Theon just clutches her head in her hands, shakes it, and mutters to herself, "I don't care if he's the first brood, I'm going to have a talk with him about this."
He got into the dragon cookies.
Just like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Just
Oh my god.
This offers Fiona a drink.
Shit.
She takes it.
It's like when we get some more quiet, I'll explain what the alternative was.
You guys are the only person there. Mione watches you enter. She goes, should I go to the back?
It was either this or lose 30 years of my life.
It's quite alright, Mother Mion. We will take care of this in our own time.
I don't think I want to take care of anything. I want to sleep, and then I want to go. And I don't want to know about any of the bullshit right now.
Just look around. She's like, I took this deal so I could help with this, because I've been feeling like I'm not helping as much. Because I'm pissed off about all of this. I know not as much as you, but I'm just as hurt seeing you like this.
So one other piece of information to share. My father's gone. He's not come home. He's missing.
Have you ever sent another search party for him?
They're so busy searching for the other 6,000 people who have been killed, and some of their heads have been brought back. So I don't know how much of a priority that would be when it came to my father.
So we're in an even bigger mess then.
And we're not allowed to kill somebody.
We're not allowed to kill someone?
Oh, yeah.
I guess the person responsible for this.
Maybe the person responsible for it, yeah.
If they're responsible for it, I'm cutting their head off. I don't care. I'm not a citizen of Gridania. I'm not a citizen of anywhere.
Fionn just stands up from her seat right there and walks over. Worksend, before you let all of this get to your head, we can explain what we learned.
Alright, give me the details. Make it quick.
She sits down.
Why don't you calm down? Make it quick. You act as though this is affecting you. How, other than Siebert, did any of this personally affect you? That you're going to be, oh, hey, let's go get this done and blow shit up.
Because it's affecting you, that's why.
Well, I need a
Well, at
drink.
least his heart's in the right place.
Yeah, too bad his head
Fionn
was
just...
first.
Yes.
Insane. Oh, it's not going to be him, but alright.
Any road works, and it appears that the Lambs of Dalamud are behind the disappearances and apparent mass murdering of various adventurers and sort in the Deepcroft. In addition, they have gained the alliance of quite a number of disgruntled Duskwights within the region, including a resistance leader who we have been tasked to bring back alive. As far as we know, she is not, in fact, involved with the Lambs directly. In fact, she does not care one whit about their goals. She just wants to get revenge on Gridania.
So basically, we have to make sure we bring back the person possibly responsible for all this alive. Also, the Lambs of Dalamud, which, oh my god, why is that name coming up again? I was really hoping we'd be done with that bullshit.
I know. I mean, it's been scarcely a year to me, but
Especially,
6 to others.
And especially, I kind of say really quietly, especially with the other entity in my head.
Yes, I'm aware. Any road, it appears that the Lands of Dalamud themselves are likely behind the killings, but this resistance leader is not to be underestimated. Well, not to kill her, but we should not be taking her... We should not be underestimating her either.
Oh, man. Alright. Well, I'll do what I can. I make no promises if something should,
That is all we ask for.
Alright.
Dak and I will focus on ways to disable her so that a clean capture can be...
Well, I took a little bit of a dose of power, so... Granted, it's going to render me out of commission for a couple days at minimum afterwards.
I really need to speak with your benefactor about these deals you've been making.
It was on my call.
So now
Fiona just
you made a deal.
pauses for a moment.
You made a deal to help me that's going to end up hurting you in the long run.
This was the lesser of the two.
In any way, you expect... Oh. So after this is all done, providing my father is still alive, and we're able to do what the Seed Seer wants, I then have to go from seeing the first man I ever loved falling apart to watching you in agonizing pain. Oh, hey!
Oxend, I really have to question your foresight. But I suppose there's nothing
If
to be done about it.
if everyone's going to give me a lot of shit for trying to be more effective, and okay, yeah, I know it's a stupid move. I'm doing it for the right reasons. Yeah, it's going to hurt afterwards. But I'd rather be hurting afterwards than watch anyone else die.
And if I lose my father, I have to deal with you in that aspect. How is that gonna... Because I know this is what you're trying to do. And I can see that this is what you're trying to do. But right now, how? You're making deals with someone who is ripping you apart right now. I'm just gonna go get some sleep.
Do I try too hard, or is it just... If you could make a deal to help the person you love, even if it meant hurting yourself. Because right now, I'm not thinking of me, I'm thinking of her.
Marksand, you have to think about whether the deal will hurt them too. Whether directly or not.
Just put his head down. It's like, I know I'm an idiot.
You at least try. But in the future do get her input as well. Fion
Well, the
sighs
other-
and stands up.
The other offer was taking 30 years off my life.
Was this an either-or situation, or was this simply something you asked?
I wanted the power to help. And frankly,
Yeah, I can help you,
as of
Marcin.
late, I feel like I'm not really pulling my weight when it comes to fighting. I have a few moments here and there, but feeling like I'm not keeping up.
You give yourself too little credit.
Because I used to give myself too much credit and you see where it led me.
I'm not the person to talk to about this. Just be more mindful in the future, please. I'm going to go get magic. I'm going to get the spells necessary to go on this outing. Please contact me by the link Pearl if something comes up, she says, addressing everyone in general.
Mio whistles at you.
Yes?
Lady Fion, I was asked to give this message to you when you came by. Next, Sulao says he has a shipment of something that you should be interested in. Could I help?
Oh?
Says,
Fion goes,
yeah, he didn't say it was spells or anything like that, but he said he had a number of crystals that would help you.
alright, I shall seek him out then. Thank you for letting me know.
You're very welcome. He did tell me to... He did say that it was urgent for you.
Indeed it is. Well, I'd better take care of that then. Thank you for the meal, as always. And have a good...
You're very welcome. Do you head over to Sulao's immediately?
Mm-hmm.
As you arrive, the place is more or less dark and it's starting to hit nightfall. But you see that there's a package on the ground sitting there with a note on top of it.
Fiona glances about warily just to be sure, since, you know, she is kind of hiding secrets from Sula.
Mm-hmm. It just... what are you trying to do? Just check to see if he's there?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't see anybody. You see a few people on the street who like look at you and they're like, huh?
She just shakes her head, not paying them no mind, and goes to pick up the package.
Do you read the note?
Of course.
It's kind of hastily written, but you can tell it's Sulao's writing. It says, Miss Eliswa, per Han's will, I have been instructed to leave these items to you. These are some of his last worldly possessions that we have reclaimed from his homestead. These items in particular, we've been asked to give to you. Please take good care of them. Sincerely, Sulao.
I wonder why Adam's so busy that he couldn't see me in person about this. No matter.
The door slams open. He goes, blinks a little bit. Oh,
Sulao.
Fiona. Hi. Sorry.
Good
about
evening
that.
to you.
Good evening. I was just gonna bring these by the inn tomorrow, but I left Miona a message I just got back into Gridania like 3 days ago. He's rubbing his eye. He's clearly very tired.
It's quite alright. Should I let you rest?
Nah, it's fine. No, it's just... Obviously, I wanted to hand you those. It's been a busy time ripping Amphidora apart.
Indeed.
At that point, he just goes, well, I hope whatever Han left you is to your liking.
Indeed, I will treasure it nonetheless.
Mm-hmm. Says anyway, I'm going to head back to sleep. If you or your companions need anything, feel free to swing by. If you have something you need now, I can look for it.
Well, I was going to go shopping for magic, but I fear the stores will be closed by then, so if it's alright, could I possibly look at your spells?
Indeed. Do you have anything particular you're looking for?
Well, firstly is communal protection against evil. We are going to be heading into Deep Croft, where Lambs of Daltmouth are currently in a bit of bad business. Lots of void sense, so we are going to need to take some precautions.
Yeah, I've got one of those. It's about 100... some calculations. 150?
Alright, thank you. Additionally, any spells of flight would also be most welcome.
Flight?
Indeed.
And he goes, I would have to go procure that. I don't get requests for it very often, and it is kind of rare. But I can procure one for you for 2,500.
In that case, I'm sure it'll be alright for now. Thank you nonetheless.
Alright. Do you have anything else?
No, I do believe Dakwa has covered most of the other issues.
Okay. Well, actually, if you don't mind, I would actually like to see what's in the box.
Of course. Fionn steps inside to set it down and open it.
He looks down, and as you open it and it pops open, you see a number of jet black crystals in the box, and after you count, you realize there's about 40 of them in there.
Goodness.
There's a grimoire set to the side, and as you open it and flip through, you can see it has all of the correspondence that you had with Han inside of it.
Fionn just grimaces and
likewise, you can see that there are 3 scrolls in the bottom of the box, along with another book full of, that's basically like a history of the void.
Fionn unfurls the scrolls and casts detect magic to skim over them.
They are all magic.
Yes. allowing Sulao
Allowing Sulao to do what?
to see as well.
Okay. There. Sulao actually admits that he can't read them, even with detect magic going.
Really? Fascinating.
He admits that as he's looking over them, that the scrolls have been enchanted so that only you can read them.
What would prompt such security? She skims over them.
The first one is a spell that you cannot record in your grimoire. It is
Oh dear.
The scroll can be used 3 times. It is a scroll of ritual restriction lifting.
Alright.
Essentially, when you use the scroll, you may, as a standard action, cast one of your rituals.
Ooh.
And that's any ritual.
Okay, wow.
But once it is used up, the scroll is destroyed, and the markings on the scroll constantly change so that the spell formula cannot be memorized. The second one he left you
Yes?
he left you a scroll of omen.
Oh.
So the negative energy fireball.
Okay.
And lastly, there is a single use scroll inside of it as well. And the inscribed ritual on the scroll makes you realize that this particular spell puts you well and good higher than a 10th level spell.
Oh my.
And it very bluntly states, while you are in possession of the scroll, for one usage, if you know any void sent by name, you can summon them onto the plane for 1 hour.
Fiona looks a little shocked, but she nonetheless scrolls back up and pecks them up.
Alright. So there is, I need you to roll a perception as you go into the box.
Oh god, man, your natural one.
Yeah, as you're going through everything, putting everything away, packing it up, your hand touches something hard and sharp in the bottom of the box.
Fiona carefully unpacks everything from around it and tries to pick it up with her gloves.
You reach down and you pick it up, and it's a single, jagged, jet black dagger with no handguard.
Interesting.
And since you have detect magic up, it oozes negative magic.
I may have to identify before bed. She packs it away as well.
Mm-hmm. Quick note with the scroll, the hour one.
Mm-hmm.
That one does still have to be used as a ritual.
Okay.
And it's got a cost of 20 void crystals.
Okay.
But otherwise, Suha's looking over everything. He goes, huh. Well then. I mean, I know it's not much, but I can't think of anyone more worthy to carry on Han's old legacy than you.
Indeed, I'm most touched. I'll endeavor to do the best I can, Diane.
Anyway, you look tired as well. Get some rest, Fiona.
Thank you. And you as well.
He just kind of...
Don't hesitate to contact me if you ever have any need for my assistance.
The same goes for me. If you have anything you need from me, he just kind of smiles, and you hear in the back of your head, I'm never further than a message away.
Fiona nods. Be well then.
He will. And at that point, he shows you out. He watches you leave before he closes the door.
So yeah, Fiona returns back at this point.
Now the question is, did Morks try and head to bed, or did he just start drowning his troubles?
Actually, I was gonna look at the note I was given first.
It's a wedding invitation.
Ah,
Yup, called it.
yeah. Just look at them, just like, yep.
They don't make it to
Well,
What are we kidding? Sorry.
I think I'll let them know about that later. Can I get my?
What did you say?
I put me on. I'm like, I get my own.
Ting. Puts a key down for you. That'll be 5 gil.
I'm just like, almost here pissed at me for this one.
What?
She's like, Ron's gonna be pissed at me a long time after this one.
So, the only 2 people down there are Fiona and Yedrin at this point, unless Yedrin went to bed.
No, you're just sort of saying they're awkwardly drinking, like relationships.
Good thing I have you, Axie.
Fiona just stares at Yedrin after walking in. This coming from the person who has bedded my future father-in-law.
I didn't say that. That was just like, I was just explaining why she's sitting there drinking awkwardly out of character.
Okay, sorry, missed that.
Yeah. Mills wave hello as Fiona walks in. Everything go okay?
Indeed. I was left some of Han's effect.
Just so no one said that. Well, that's your personal business, so hopefully nothing terrible at least.
No, quite the opposite. I owe him a lot, it seems. Even now. I suppose I should speak to him about that.